and thus will never be Moby. You know?
Guys, I gotta admit, I'm in way over my head right now. I don't think I've heard much music by Moby
Me
or
either.
Lil Wayne, so I'm like... I'm like really just like smiling and nodding a lot right now. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say, like, he has radio singles, right?
Moby?
Moby?
That
Yeah, I
doesn't
heard him on the
mean-
radio this morning.
That doesn't mean anything.
Okay, yeah.
Do you listen to the radio?
I haven't
I'm
listened
sorry.
to the radio in
Do
like
we
more than a
listen to
decade.
the radio?
Like,
That being said, the other thing about Moby is he doesn't really sing that often in his own things. He's just the composer.
Yeah.
So you don't know what he sounds like. It's like Rat-a-tat. Do you know who Rat-a-tat is?
yes.
Great. I just was like, I'm not going to bring up somebody else.
I like Rat-a-Tat before their Lame album.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, that's right. You figure out which one I'm talking about.
We're talking about
I
the
don't know.
Pokemon, right? That's
Yes.
what we're talking about right now?
Pokemon album?
No, there's a Pokemon called the
Pokemon
Rat-a-tat. That's a different thing.
They actually just really sold out, and the whole Pokemon Go is just a Rat-a-tat album.
It's a
Just a
complicated...
32 bit, yeah.
What, wait. So you were in Austin, and then you went to DFW.
Okay, so my origin story is I was born in Austin. My family moved to Pittsburgh when I was 1 year old.
Oh.
We lived in Pittsburgh for about 5 years. I moved to Arlington when I was 6. And then I was there from like 1st grade through 12th grade. And when I graduated high school, I moved back to Austin to go to college.
What high school did you go to?
Arlington High.
Ah.
Yeah. The one.
Oh, well, there are a bunch. There are like 6.
Yeah, there's like, well, there was 5 when I went there. There's 6 now. But like, yeah, we were the one, and then they kept building more.
Oh,
And they're
okay.
going to keep building more because it's a growing city.
Yeah.
Wait, they don't change the name of the high school, though? Does it go by the number of the like district or something?
No, the other ones all have names, but
PS
ours is just
122.
Arlington High School because it was the first one.
Okay.
It was the one at the time.
The town where I grew up, there was just the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to the private school, but then there was just Dedham High. That's it.
The town I grew up in, it was just a possum sitting on a stump reading stories to all the children. That was, that's what I graduated from. Yeah.
South Carolina's like.
Yeah, it's just a very literate possum.
Was your, like, the way you earned your diploma, was it, like, building, like, a little house or something?
Yeah, like hanging from trees.
I'm just kidding.
Did he wear a
That's
vest?
terrible. That's
Did he wear a
terrible.
vest?
He wore a weird kind of fedora that was torn on the top and sort of flappy that he wore on the side of his head a little
A
bit.
talking hat.
Yeah. And the vest there was a vest, but it was kind of shredded at the bottom.
Sure.
Maybe some white gloves and a bindle. I don't know. He was a vagrant possum. He just blew into town to teach the children things and then moved
He's giving
on.
back. He was giving back to the community that gave him so much.
You know, I don't want to speculate, but I think I was swindled by a carpetbagging possum.
Did he have one gold tooth?
He did.
Ooh.
And he promised he would help raise money for us to build a church, and instead he snuck off in the middle of the night with
Oh, no.
all our church money.
Did he attempt to sell you magic beans?
No, but he had a
Because-
great song and dance number, and I can't remember any of it.
So did you come back to Austin for college or to be a comedian or both?
Yeah, for college. I went to UT, and then just stuck around because I liked the town.
It is a good town.
Yeah.
I was going to be worried about you if you said you spent your entire life here, though.
Oh, there
Because
are some
I
people
worry
that do
about
that. Yeah, I'm not a bartender.
Fuck.
But if I had never
Shut
left,
out
I
our whole
probably would
demographic.
be.
Well, I mean, but there's something about, like, Austin is kind of a insular. Things are pretty good here. Like, there's some badness, but it's not that bad.
Pretty chill.
And
Third safest city in America.
you, like, mostly can do what you want. Like, even talking earlier about my, like, righteous indignation about people telling me to do whatever, that's just socially. Now, nowhere in my actual, like, Austin life is anyone saying, like, you have to be whatever.
Yeah.
I can just live my life freelance forever, and
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
fine.
We could go outside and show a picture of the Prophet Muhammad, and no one would mind.
No one at all.
It's
They'd
that
be like,
chill a city.
interesting. But so I worry about people who spend like their entire upbringing here.
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, oh no, the rest of the world sucks. And it's like, it's not that it does suck. I mean, it's just a little harsher and a little more intense.
It's not
and,
fair if you haven't seen it before.
Yeah, it's just, I want to be like, oh, okay. Like, I thought about like raising kids here, and I was like, maybe for a couple of years we just moved to Detroit. Just so they like know how to make fire in a trash can.
That's good.
I just want them to be able to do it. Listen, guys, we're going to do Walking Dead for a year. That's what we're going to do. We're moving to Georgia. We're going to live in the woods.
Did you start doing comedy when you moved, when you were in college? Did you go to UT?
Yeah, I went to UT and I did theater, and so I've always been an attention-seeking, funny-ish person.
Is funny-ish just your own personal opinion of yourself?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
That's probably the most accurate.
I was like, I feel like you're empirically
That was like
funny,
your high
so it's
school
fine. You can just go with it.
Funny-ish.
I'm all right. I think there's a lot of people that are much funnier than me. I get by. But I always was more interested in playing comedic roles in theater, and that was like my interest. So that was kind of what I wanted to do. And I took like a little bit of time off after college and just kind of worked a job for a while. Mm-hmm. And after doing that for a couple of years, I was like, oh, I really miss theater a lot. It's weird not doing it.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to get back in, and so that's when I started to take improv classes. And it actually, the day after tomorrow is my 5-year improv anniversary.
Congratulations.
Oh, great.
Yeah, from the first class I took.
That's so
5
great.
years ago, so
Where
pretty
did you take it?
I did level 1 at Coldtowne.
Okay, that was going to be my guess because
Yep.
but
And I had Michael Jastro as my level 1 coach, and it was great. And we've been friends ever since.
Oh,
Nice.
sweet.
And I met a couple of close friends in that class that I'm still pretty close with and see on the regular, and it's good. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, totally. That's great. I like that. It's fun too, and you've taken classes all over the place too, right?
Yeah, I took classes at New Movement, and I've trained at the Annoyance Theater in Chicago, and done a bunch of workshops with visiting teachers from, I guess, Iowa West and UCB mostly.
Yeah, I feel like that's where I met you the first time. I noticed you were in the circuit of workshops. You're always at the workshops. When I took them, you'd be there, and I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I see. This guy likes stuff. I'm into it.
Yeah, there was a while where I was taking everything that was coming through town. Like anybody that was coming through, I was trying to be there as much as possible. And I still try to actively, but I can't afford to take every workshop anymore. They're a bit pricey sometimes. But
well, not to mention the fact that the town's gotten a bit more cachet for workshops coming in.
Oh, yeah.
So now, a couple of years ago, you could go to every workshop because it was like $25, $30. But now it's like, oh, you're the founder of UCB. Oh, you're the guy who's in charge of this theater in Pittsburgh.
We're getting some fancy people coming through.
Like real, Yeah, so that raises the cost and also makes it a little bit harder to take advantage of all of them, unfortunately. I suppose it's good to have all these people around.
Oh, it's great. I think it's helping the community as a whole. Everyone's getting better. The community's growing. We're thriving, and great art is being produced. It's fantastic.
Definitely. That's another great thing that makes Austin particularly sort of like cushy in my mind is it's like there's so much theater happening. It's like when I grew up, when I was like, oh, hey, I want to do theater, when I was a little kid in Boston. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, I finally find a town where like everywhere I look, there's like different kinds of plays and different things and different groups. And I can try this or I can try that or I can work on this thing or I can have this kind of audience. So it's so amazing.
Absolutely. One thing that struck me was when the Be and Pain nominations were announced, I hadn't heard of half the shows that were nominated.
Right.
And that blew my mind because I see all sorts of postings and PR emails and all kinds of theater talk all the time.
Yeah.
And there are like that many shows that are just under the radar still and are of high quality that I haven't even heard about is like really impressive and cool, and it speaks to the quality and the size of the community that we have in this town.
Yeah, even like totally different sorts of things that you wouldn't think of. Like
Yeah.
on one of my temp gigs a couple weeks ago, I met this guy who does this like local cable access show about comic books and about comic book characters, and they like dress up in cosplay and do like all this stuff, and they do sort of role play games in the show, and then they do news about comic books and all this stuff. And apparently they have a big audience. Like their numbers that they have are a large number of people are watching them. And I was like, there's this whole group of people. I didn't even know this existed. I didn't know what this, like, it's so crazy. That whole thing was there and is thriving. Never heard of it. So crazy. And I just happened to meet this guy working a temp gig and being like, oh, what do you do? Oh, crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
But he's still working at temp gig?
No, he wasn't the temp. I was the temp. I was temping and helping him.
Oh, he was hiring temps.
And he's working at some real estate thing, but at night he's like all of us doing the at night doing his show, and during the day working the grind.
Ah, the magic.
What do you do for a living?
I'm the general manager of Coldtowne Theater.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
Right on.
full time. Good. I was going to ask you about how that was. I feel like the last time I really talked to you, like had a conversation was more than 3 seconds, was at that Funny or Die party.
Which was like the day after I had accepted the position, I think.
Totally.
And I was like, I just got this job. And I was
Yeah.
drunk, and we were like taking photo booth pictures, I think, right?
Absolutely. That was exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long
But
have
I
you
really
had-
like it. Yeah.
How long have you had that? Did you say like that position?
Since March.
Okay, cool.
About-
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the Funny or Die party we were at was a South by Southwest thing. So
Right,
we were
yeah.
all there, and then you had just gotten that. That's so great. How's it been?
Oh, good. Really good. Thank you.
So fun.
Yeah,
I know it
I'm
can be
enjoying
difficult
it.
to do, administration and keep the art stuff up.
It has
But,
been a little bit. I was doing so much, like I had so many projects going, that it wasn't that hard to just like trim down the number of artistic projects I was doing to like fill some of that time with like administrative managerial stuff. I know you have experience doing that too with running theater as well. Yeah, I just like I used to have like a main troupe and then like 4 to 5 other like side improv projects that were fun and a blast, and I still get some of them together here and there, but like I kind of stopped like organizing a couple of things, and I was the organizing person, so I was like, well, that takes away a lot of my mental energy, and I can actually focus that on work, and it was like a lot easier to still just do like my main troupe and then focus on sketch stuff, which is like what I do whenever I'm sitting with free time and an open mind.
Yeah.
Like anytime I'm just in front of my computer, I try to like write. So that's like once I have scenes that are ready, it's like, all right, cool. Well, just find a way to put a show together and like
Exactly.
do that. Like I don't know. I've gotten used to just doing sketch shows on the regular so much that it's like, all right, cool. Just like do it.
Yeah, it's good to have a few sketches sort of in the backlog so that when next time somebody's like, hey, we have this show coming up, you're like, great, here's this. What do you think?
Yeah, I have a show's worth of backlog already. That's, like, at one point I was like, hey, I could do a whole show with this, and then I was like, I'm too busy. didn't worry about it. But like, I'm trying to bring some of it up, and then I'm writing some new stuff right now for a show that will be in December.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Yeah, I mean, it's so great. I actually really like writing sketch. I find that it's like just long enough. You get a quick story out, you finish it, it feels complete.
Yeah.
I can get a little obsessed with format sometimes, but generally it's pretty fun to be able to write it down.
Yeah. I like having a weird idea that's like ridiculous, but that you're still able to. Man, this is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous idea that you're able to like take and play with, and just like trim down to just make like just a couple of ideas that you need, and like you just like repeat those couple of patterns enough where it's like, oh, here's a couple of pieces of information, and how you structure it just like leads to laughter. And
Yeah.
I like it because I'm not very good at writing stand-up jokes personally.
Yeah.
Like that, I always wanted to be a stand-up. That was like what I wanted to do when I was a kid. Like I was like, stand-up comedy is the greatest. You're on stage alone and you're smart and like everyone laughs at you. Ha 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 ha. That's great. And I don't have the brain for it at all. I cannot write set-up punchline jokes to save my life. I'm so flustered by it whenever I try. I can tell like meandering stories, and I can set up premises in a sketch scene where it works better with like multiple people interacting. But I feel like if I try to do it as a single performer, it always like is clunky and weird, which is why I like sketch, because it gives me that freedom to just be a little bit more open and explore a world and like maybe an ironic reality instead of like just like a one point of view, which